Harith and Fredrin na kanilang kukunin. Talagang dinidare nilang mag-Esmeralda ang Falcons. I really think this should be an Esmeralda third pick para sa Falcons.
But if they do go for the Esmeralda pick, hindi ba ito something na na-foresee ng Liquid? And wala na silang gold laner. They could not potentially pick up the carry anymore. If any, ay na-encourage pa nga nila again, as you said, because of the Harith pick, yung Esmeralda pickup.
Yeah.
So where else could they really expect that damage to deal with the Esmeralda?
Yeah.
Or, diba?
Tama ka dun. Kasi parang ang idea doon ay magkaanap ka na ng mga malakas talaga matunaw, like the Lunox, for example, or even the Kimi. So siguro doon manggagaling yung kanilang sagot. But apart from that, just because of the fact na parang kinwestiyon na agad natin, there is the Esmeralda as we did expect. Talagang, alam mo yung nararamdaman ko dito para sa TLPH, alam nila na Esmeralda na yung pick kasi hindi posible na mag-pick ka ng Pakito at as well as the Harith nang hindi mo iniisip yung Esmeralda na pwedeng sagot ng kalaban mo. So, I think the answer for the Esmeralda will come from the mid lane. Somewhere along the lines of Kimi and the Lunox kung sakali.
Yeah.
Pero malabo din kasi yung Lunox kasi hindi siya meta. So, Kimi and Eve, possible bans here para sa Falcons.
Last time I checked, yung stats din natin would say na Lunox was only picked once in this entire season and that was only from Lancy. So, hindi na natin siya nakita lumabas ulit. And Falcons can afford to also take out potential threats towards this pick. But instead, they will focus down muna on JP and ano na kaya ang talagang magiging pansagot ng Liquid dito? Kasi parang ang hirap naman nasabayan na lang sa sustain.
We'll see. With the Eve being banned, this tells us na may Jushin pa na pwede nilang kunin. So siguro ang way nila para sagutin yung Esmeralda is not through heroes, pero parang dun sa mga rotation. Kasi nga naman, in fairness with the Esmeralda, mahina siya in the first 8 minutes of the game. Hindi pa siya ganun ka hirap i-deal with. But pag dumating na tayo dun sa point na gano'n, doon na siya magiging problema. So, siguro ganun yung magiging sagutin ng TLPH. And how do they achieve that? Have a strong mid. Hilda and Jushin yung pwede nilang kunin or the Khalid plus the Jushin para mataas yung kanilang kanilang early game potential. So, Falcons might just go for the Hilda ban as their last ban. O kaya naman yung Jushin. Or the Khalid, I mean. There is the Khalid. So, Hilda yung matitira dito para sa TLPH.
Yeah, they leave it open. I was also thinking about the Hilda because even though may shields din yan occasionally na may expect mula sa kanya, ay ito naman yung kumbaga magiging katumbas na rin naman ng Marcel. And that was something that really enabled them to go for that kind of rotation nung game number 1 kanina for Liquid. Yung napaka-fast-paced na beginning. Atas again. Okay.
So I think this is Kimi and Hilda na kung ganito yung banning. Pero meron ding angulo nung Selena or Mr. Sanji. So I'm thinking Kimi, tapos Selena yung mga options yan. There is still the argument for the Zushin. However, Falcons gonna be looking for a flex pick dito. Pwede sila yung mag-Hilda, actually. Para nakawin nila dito. At the same time, there's the high loss that they can also pick up. But the benefit from the Hilda, nakita naman natin na pwede siyang gamitin sa XP at roam. Pero this time kasi may SB na sila.
Yeah.
So, nanakawin yung Zushin.
Okay. Now I'm thinking if willing din sila na hayaan na lang ang Hilda, the glue option for Owen is also still available. So I think that will also be a potentially great response if ever they do proceed with the Hilda.
I think Hylos Kimi yung best answer dito para sa TLPH. So what you achieve from the Hylos is yung Glorious Pathway, so hindi kayo masuslow down, makakapiglas kayo dun sa Zushin. And additionally, yung makukuha mong damage from the Kimi, eventually magiging enough siya against Esmeralda. At maganda pa sa Kimi, strong lane siya up against this Zushin. Right? So I feel like this is the answer for TLPH. Siguro yung outlier dito is Hylos plus the Selena. And the glue as well.
Oh, they get the glue!
And the gourd pa rin. Interesting.
Okay.
So this leaves them susceptible sa Hilda from Ogwen. Especially because they just picked up this gourd. So parang pwede nilang constantly guluhin dito.
I can only imagine kung ano ang magiging stress na pagdadaanan mo with the Hilda Esmeralda. Potentially trying to always break your formations as Liquid, considering that they've picked up this gourd, which is, again, a very positioning-reliant mid laner. And you have all these high-mobility heroes that Falcons have picked up so far.
This is so interesting kasi parang mag-rely na lang din sa damage ng TLPH sa kanilang mga windows of opportunity.
Oh!
Okay. What is that? That is...
Padang.
Oh, okay. So, di ko kasi kita from my dito. But it's the Badang, which is generally good versus the Gourd. Alam mo, ito ata ang game na maipapanalo ng Falcons from the early up until the late game. I think their draft is complete. Wala yata masyadong makakahawak dito sa Esmeralda. The only threat is the gourd in the early stages para sa Falcons, but they have the padang for that one. So I'm gonna give this game to Falcons.
On top of the fact na majority of the damage, I guess you would really expect in terms of magic muna sa side ng Team Liquid Philippines. So naririnig ko na ang side ng Falcons! Excited na ba kayo for game number 2? Paano naman ang Cavalry? Ibato na natin sa ating mga casters.
Here we go, game 2 upon us. Team Falcons got smacked in the face in game 1. This draft, I have to agree, should be able to go ahead and solidify a win here in game 2. And I have to say it too, man. As a Gord main, yeah, I'm a little scared of this lineup that Team Falcons brought.
Yeah, theory, on paper, very good. Double support emblem, you get one of the XP, one of the badang, so they get way much faster cooldown reduction at the same time. Shields for themselves.
Ooh, that right there.
Good aggression in the mid by Ogren and Haji, knowing that they have the prio. But then how well will Falcons fare for Turtle 1s to 2? Because that's where they got trumped in the last one. If they do better then yeah, they can coast.
Uh-oh, throwing out that projectile. Sanji spots 3. Kyle comes through, force flicker out of 2 here. Already Liquid get flushed out of their own side, but Carl Easy, the GOAT, slowly but surely mirroring the steal, and he gets away with it.
Oh, he gets away with it too.
Oh, and
and he got that.
Got that too.
That's not good if you're Team Falcons. They spent way too much time trying to mirror what Carl Teasy was just doing freely, right?
Yeah.
You can see that kind of minor delay is going to have an effect on Kyle for now.
Which is why I thought that after that Golem invade, Kyle would go to his own Lizard so that when he could clear Lizard, get Orange, then get Beetle, that's when he'll hit level 4. But, well, he decided to turn his rotation around. Then again, the Turtle spawning here. Still not that much dire straits here for Falcons. Let's just see if Kyle will be able to hit level 4 with this Lizard take. As Carl is already level 4. Yeah, he should be good. He should be good.
So he'll be okay for the first Turtle. And, you know, part of this, again, is playing into the fact that you've got a lot of crowd control if you're Team Liquid Philippines. That's why there's 3 Purifies over here for Team Falcons. That's going to go ahead and help them solidify some of these team fights early on, especially. They've got control of the first Turtle. Kyle will work on that while the rest of TL is in the zone. Carl Teasy will go ahead and walk up on this Fredrin, see if they find out for it.
Sanford taking that white brush to the right. Quick knock up onto JP. Oakland steals the Turtle. And now JP running away very low. Crimson Beacon on the Sanji. Smashes Carl Easy in the middle of 3. Carl with a fade away. A Brazer's path. Still gets taken down, but Kyle gets traded out 4. Super Marco early rotation. Blazing to it underneath tier 1. 1 for 1, but Falcons get the Turtle.
Yeah, really good there that Sanji was able to get the missile projectile in the gush onto Kyle to secure that kill. Falcons would be able to get the Turtle though. Still, Liquid got to balance it out. The EXP lane Flap had to rush the Dreadnought armor because he is back in the support emblem. It's good, but the bad thing is you're not as tanky. You're very squishy. You get faster shields, but the Paquito can delete it.
Whoa! Speaking of, Sanford comes through. There's the crack and the punish from Falcons as Ogwin takes down 40.
I'm glad to see the Badang in action here in the hands of Ogren, who suffered a whole lot in game 1. Now he's up 2-0, helping the tempo with this lineup from Team Falcons as they continue.
Flap right on Carl Easy's face. He knows how to play against this Fredrin. Appraiser's Wrath, but still Flap wants more.
Yeah, just sending him back. Kyle will be able to get the Beetle here. Carl still makes it to his orange. So looking at the draft picture, wait, Ogwen.
Oh no.
Mounted by Daddy JP. Flickers back. Some shields. Keeping him topped up. He's taking Daddy JP all the way this deep. And now Ogwin gets a shield, survives. Crimson Beacon from Haji. Flap dancing around. JP will live.
Yeah, he knows he can survive, so that's why JP just went all the way there. He still had his flicker. 25 seconds until the next Turtle. Kyle needs to regen some health, get his own buffs down. Carl Teasy. I think you have to watch out for mainly the Gourd and the placements of Haji on this Juicin. My eyes are on the 2 mid laners heading into this next Turtle. Well, of course, watch out since it is spawning closer to the gold lane. Teddy and Super Marco can join in the fray. Could become a big 5v5.
I like what Wolf was mentioning in the draft, and you know, again, I know for international viewers that's in Filipino, but what he did mention is that there's no way for TL that they draft those first, heroes that they had in the first phase that are so shield dependent. You got an Esmeralda across from you. Is the Gourd the plan to go ahead and help deal with this? Is there something else to deal with Flap? Before you answer that, here's the fight.
Kyle jumps onto Sanji. Sanji brings out the ordnance. Gushing through. Carly secures the turtle, but Sanji falls. Kyle gets him. And there's a wall put up, a crack. And Kyle just barely sidesteps away, but Sanford finishes the job. Liquid are pushing Falcons once again to fight, goading them into more aggression.
Yeah, to answer your question, Team Liquid Philippines definitely gave that, knowing that they'd be going up against an Esmeralda. It's just, if you look at the firepower of Liquid, there's a lot. That despite you being able to make a lot of shields as an Esme, the only other pick that's stopping Sanford is the Batang. But the Batang also has to mark, well, the Harith, the Gourd, even the Glue in some ways, but mainly the Fredrin. That it's not like the Kufra Esmeralda game they had against Onyx Philippines. It's a little bit, just a little bit easier for Sanford to get crafty with the angles that he's approaching from.
Yeah, this is another thing too. Both gold laners have essentially been able to go ahead and do what they need to farm up. They got an assist, of course, throughout that last team fight, but still they're neck and neck in terms of farm here. We'll see how they play in part here, because especially for Super Marco, he's got his DHS. He can be there for the next turtle. Both gold laners can, as we see this breakout. But another thing too for Team Falcons is this is that lineup, similar to what we were saying, where that lineup in game one, they should have played, maybe a little bit slow, but they just didn't get a chance to. Well, this, I feel like they're keeping the pace under control against Team Liquid. And that's the best case scenario for them with this kind of lineup. It's just more so also,
Kyle gets caught up, and here goes Ogwin to save him. And now Haji responds as well. Carl Easy put down to a third. Crimson Beacon. Carl Easy dashes back. Close call. Not much from Falcons here. They're not gonna force it.
Yeah, they know they couldn't force it because they didn't have the minion waves.
Oh, the gush right on Ogwin's face. No way he survives this. The master gets slain.
Did they not expect that there would be members of Liquid there? Because they just committed a big four-man. Most teams already know that there are going to be bodies. I know he was checking, but you're up against a Gourd.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? This is what we were talking about, is the amount of crowd control that you have. And again, you have Fear Fines, but if your Flicker is gone, Ogwin gets punished. So what that results to is the last turtle going to the hands of Team Liquid. The gold lead's going to shift, although it is just pretty minuscule. It's nothing too big, but TL, you'll see them start to go ahead and put pressure on the side of jungle for Team Falcons up to this point. Flap and Kyle, though, they want to go for this tier 1.
Oh, looking for that surge. It looks like 40's happy to just waste time here. Super Marco gets taken down. Max range on that gush, and all this while, they've been working on taking down the Apex Predator. Sanford does fall, but at what cost?
Yeah, the minion wave couldn't stand long enough for Falcons to break the tower. Marco got taken down topside. Not a good trade for Falcons.
Round 2, in mid. Hogan puts up a wall, but JP is hell-bent on getting a mount. There's a crack. JP flickers back.
All right, JP's got to flicker out. This is
get
going to be a tier 1. Kyle will go ahead and knock that down, man. They spent a lot of time at trying to get that objective. They will end up opening up the map a little bit, but also top side, look what happened. Right, their tier 2 took some damage. They pretty much mirror what TL is doing is mirroring what Team Falcons wants to do. And so it puts them in the situation of where do we put our guys? Where do we put our rotations more? And where's more important for Team Falcons?
Yeah, what's annoying right now for Falcons is if we actually have numbers here with total damage dealt, damage taken, very even in the gold, close enough. It's the total control time, 45 seconds for Team Liquid so far, just 23 for Falcons. So that extra amount of control that Liquid has is what's giving a lot of difficulty for Falcons in the fights.
Yeah.
It still could be brought closer, not that far off in terms of the gold, but they need to see if they can start getting more gold on this Juicin specifically, because Sanji is starting to run away with the lead.
Oh, point blank gush without any warning. A volley right in Marco's face. They catch Ogwin, force a flicker out of him. And now he answers with a crack. Haji looking to choke him up, but Sanji will finish the job.
Yes,
JP
trade.
goes up, and there's a trade 1-for-1.
Good trade. They deal with that at least, but this is going to be a problem trying to work against all these amount of crowd controls and stuns that TL has.
Whoop! Flap here, caught in the crowd control, and there it is, another gush plus a Salmon Force. Might have been overkill. That's not what Falcons was looking for.
After all of that, Liquid still has almost double the total crowd control time. 53 seconds to Falcons 27.
Oh, Look at that damage.
They force Sanji back. Another Crimson Beacon wasted. Liquid are looking to secure the Lord here. Down to an 1/8 of its health. Kyle looking to steal. Goes through the back, and Carl Teasy gets that Lord to wear a Liquid jersey.
This is the problem. Oh, Ogwin in trouble again.
He's caught between the walls. Almond Floors plus Gush. The GOAT secures the kill, and now they go for Kyle's purple.
Oh man, those projectiles just stopping them in their tracks. Purple's still there for Kyle to take. They pulled off of it. Sanji, quite low, has to get out.
Couldn't finish the job. Sanji will live, staying here, hiding in the Y brush. A Brazer's Rat knocks out Flap. Talking about knockouts. Sanford looking for more, forcing a defensive. Surge, but Sanford will find Marco with a brrrr. Blazing Duet taking down 40. There's a shutdown.
Yeah, Falcons needed to get something there because this is getting completely out of hand already. We talked about Turtle 2 and Turtle 3. That has extended up to Lord 1, with which Liquid was able to get freely, as we saw. Falcons will be able to stop this from getting any charges. Still somewhat close, but they're putting all of their eggs now on Super Marco at this point.
Yep.
Haji does have a Sky Piercer. Don't believe the graphic. That's only supposed to be 1 Sky Piercer. We're okay here. Don't worry. That's not 2. There's not a new build you don't know about. But it seems like the drafting philosophy of Liquid for this series is just pack a lot of crowd control against a team that has a really good team fight. They've respected Falcons' ability to fight, what they showed off against Onyx, and they realized we can just bring back an old favorite. Spam Fredrin, pair it up with even more crowd control, damage EXP, old school favorite in a Paquito, and which is why this was an important match for Falcons to, a game for Falcons to win. Because if they want this, then they're thinking already, okay, we still have an answer to Paquito. If even after the Esmeralda, even after the Badang, they still cannot take out the Paquito, then they have to start committing bans to take it away from Sanford.
Yeah, they won't want to take that away. They're trying to hold on to what they can in their base here. But this is the thing. Now you got a Divine Glaive.
Another projection plus Gush combo. Puts Flap at half.
Yeah, that Divine Glaive last pickup is enough. You know, it's been the Glowing Wand and the Lightning Tranchant, and Sanji's already capped up 5 kills. So what more now? And it's so surprising to see, again, you know, Carl Teasy picking up the Fredrin back-to-back after what we saw even in the last games. We saw, oh, hold on.
Another Gush comes through. Taking down Ogwin. Just like that. Kyle Teasy can't even sniff his purple.
And Ogren knew that he didn't need to commit his ultimate there to try and salvage that. It would have been too difficult for Falcons to take that fight. Marco, ouch.
All right, shield's gonna pop here. Down on that bottom side, again, TL now, it's 4,000 ahead for them. And it seems like Team Falcons is in that same situation that they were in Game 1, where it's like they just have to respond to TL, you know, putting the pressure wherever they decide to. How do you get around these projectiles? How do you get around those little mini crowd controls that this lineup that TL has?
Oh, it's even tough to say because you already have the Purifies. But then even if you Purify, there's already a good chance Sanji is blasting you. It's a cop-out, but play better. Out-execute them. Liquid are just really executing. Falcons, theoretically, we said it, have all the tools that they need. It's just how do you execute that when the other team is just so good at it?
Kyle is so far off. I don't think he can make it back in time. They've already picked a fight with Flap and Haji.
Oh,
Flap here is going to get taken down very, very quickly. Crimson Beacon by Haji. 40 versus 2. Kyle and Ogwin. There's no way. There's no way. Sanford flickers back.
Sanford buys enough time in the 1v2 while TL took out Flap.
Oh my lord, another Gush. Crimson Beacon. Tele helps Sanji finish the job. And just like that, another message sent and received. This Lord belongs to Liquid.
Go next, Sanford, perfect placement. Put himself in right bush mid. Waited for Ogwin and Kyle. Liquid read their rotations. This is the Liquid that just knows everything that's going on.
Yep.
They expect what you're gonna do next, and they already put themselves in the perfect place to answer it.
Rennie, I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. And I'm pretty sure some of the chat's saying it too. You know, ban the Paquito or take the Paquito away from Sanford.
Yep.
The amount of value and efficiency that he's having on this pick is too much for TL right now. And maybe even again, you know, considering how do you get through all this? You have Purifies, you have to outplay them, but every single time they approach a fight that's started up by that stun, you lose someone.
Just like that, in a snap, Flap Teasy gets erased off the map.
And he's supposed to be a tanky hero here with this, but when you're just burnt through like that by the Mr. Gush.
Zaman Force, Ogwin flickers back just to save himself. Lord still standing, more than half health. Carl Deasy catches Haji. Crimson Beacon flicker back. Super Marco wailing away, taking care of the Lord. But Liquid will continue to push in, demolishing that mid lane inhibitor.
All right, base turrets still one stands for Team Falcons. They'll hold on to it. But TL.
Oh, another gush. Kyle Deasy surges back.
Another stun.
And Ogwin gets picked up once more. Teddy is on a rampage. Boom! Blazing duet from Marco plus the freeze. JP here flickers back. Kyle Deasy with an Appraiser's Wrath of all Appraiser's Wrath.
Kyle?
Taking down Marco. Kyle looking for more double kill for him. Kyle Deasy shot down. Kyle goes down. Knockout strike and Haji versus 2.
Oh!
And there's the wipeout. The KDA machine gets 3 stacks.
The machine says, not in my house. We're not going down with a fight. I thought Carl Deasy delivered the dagger with that taunt, with the Appraiser's Wrath, perfect to delete Marco in an instant. But then Falcons swing back with Kyle through Haji. Signs of life for the Falcons.
A messy fight there for Team Liquid, potentially trying to end the game off this push. Look at the replay here, how this planned out.
Winter Crown, Blazing Duet, when he gets out, the taunt is perfect. And with all the damage Carl Deasy took, it is an instant delete on the Claude. But Kyle went in perfectly. Since Teddy already committed the Zaman Force, when they went for that initial push, he didn't have it. And then Falcons just countered through their juice in, which now has 3 stacks on the Skypiercer.
A millisecond of hesitation would have led to this ending right then and there. But Haji said, nuh-uh, not like this. From red side last night, starting game 4. No, game... Yes, game 4.
Game 4, yep.
Yep,
Game
they
4.
started to clap it back. This could be that.
Hey, Renmar, I think they just went with the, what we mentioned. They just got to play better. Well, when that team fight, they played better. But this is the problem. The Lord still controlled by Team Liquid. Does Team Falcons take that? Do they just defend and they're going to try to get a range here?
Haji looking for the choke out. Oh! He comes in, gets deleted. He was hoping on a dream and they're a man down. Ogwin gets mounted by Daddy JP.
Oh, the timing with a Mystic projectile
Perfect.
was on point to take out Kyle.
Ogwin is out. It's a 3-man defense for Falcons. Liquid can smell it. Liquid are slowly galloping towards their base.
Endable.
Yep, they got a wave pushing in. They're going to try to defend.
Gush forcing out the Crimson Beacon and Sanford takes down Haji. The base is up next. Marco with a Blazing Duet, the Hail Mary play. Minions get wiped out, but Liquid takes down Flap. And just like that, Liquid take another 2-0.
Hope looked bright, but Liquid decided to stampede the Lord. Falcons looked at the macro too much, and that moment of hesitation cost the Falcons